Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to do a centered scrunch. So I start by centering the shirt using the sleeve inside the other sleeve technique. That's where you tuck one sleeve inside the other sleeve, then line up all the seams along the underarm and along the shoulder, and if there are side seams, you line those up too. And then you bring the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt together, and ultimately that creates symmetry. So you should have a mirror image on the front side and the back side and from side to side. It just really helps with saturation. For this project, I'm doing something that I don't normally do. I'm making really tight scrunches. So I'm scrunching really hard, and I'm trying to make sure that all of the scrunches are about the same height. Now I'm going to cram it into a dollar store container that's way too small for this project, but that's the whole point. So scrunch it really super tight. So as you can see, obviously, this really does not fit into this little basket. That's why I decided to fold it in half first. I felt like it was giving me some space-saving room, and I am literally just cramming it in there the best that I can. So now it's time for the fun part, and my favorite part. We get to add the dye. I just love playing in the dye. This is my first time using this color. Citrus Got Real. What a cute name. And I'm excited about it because I know that it's going to have some really cool color splits. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the dye under ice technique. So I'm adding it directly to the shirt. So when you're in the Facebook groups and you see the abbreviation DUI, that stands for dye under ice. And I'm trying not to go super heavy-handed. So in a few spots I go pretty heavy, and then I'm doing a light sprinkle over the whole thing. Now it's time to add the ice, and I like to add enough ice to where I don't see any of the fabric showing through. I try to find a happy medium. I don't want too little, and I don't want way too much. And for this particular project, I'm going to be also doing the dye over ice technique. So when you're in the Facebook groups and you see DOI, that's what it stands for, dye over ice. And I'm just doing kind of a thin layer. And I'm giving it a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, just to try to help keep that pH up around 10.5 to 11. So as you can see, this is a fun color, all the orange and it's splitting down into red. But when I came back after all the ice had melted, there wasn't very good saturation on the bottom, and I could have left it and just went with it, but I wanted to see more colors. So I've left this in. This is how I work. I'm just showing you that things aren't always perfect, and I had to figure it out and McDiver my way through it. Ultimately, what I figured out the easiest way to do it was just to flip it over, set it on top of the base that was originally holding it up, and then fill up another container of the same size with ice. Do some dye over ice technique, and then give it a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and I set the whole thing aside, and you want to let it batch at 70 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours. And I can tell you that this project batched for the full 48 hours and then some. It probably sat for about 4 days. So now it's time for the rinse out, and you want to start by using cold water. That's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine, and I like to do hot water cycles using Curelon, which is a professional textile detergent. And then I like to do a final hot water cycle using Millsoft, which is a professional fabric softener. And then I will put it in the dryer and I will iron it, and we'll come back and we'll see the results. And I do have links down below in the description box for everything that I use to create tie-dye, so go ahead and check that out. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our centered scrunch after it's been washed and dried, and I think it turned out great. I really didn't know what to expect with this color, being the first time that I used it, and it did not disappoint. All of that came from just one jar of dye. Now the symmetry is awesome because I did the sleeve inside the other sleeve technique. It's not 100% perfect, but it's tie-dye, you know. Now this color is no longer available on Dharma's website. It was a muck dye from spring, and you might be able to find it in the marketplace. So if you go over to Facebook, Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace, somebody might have a large quantity of this to sell you. That's the one thing, you guys. Every season you gotta stalk Dharma's page and watch, because they will release a limited amount of something, and when it's gone, it's gone. And this is one of those colors. But look how amazing that is. One jar of dye created orange, red, yellow, and there's also peachy tones. And I think this particular style of doing things, if you did it with liquid dye, ice dye, and any color combination that you want, you're going to achieve really cool results. So overall, I'm super pleased with the way it turned out. What do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!